You don't need more leads. You need your business to stop resetting itself every few months. Because the real question isn't how to get the next client. It's how to build a business where the work you've already done keeps paying you back. Welcome to the Midlife Business Academy. I'm Lori Lyons, marketing strategist, business coach, and accidental techie. After years of running a successful website design agency, I'm now building the business of my dreams and helping other midlife entrepreneurs do the same. From strategy to marketing to mindset, we covered what really matters when you're growing a business that fits your life. Let's get started. Welcome back to the Midlife Business Academy. If you're done spinning your wheels, done starting over, and ready to build real momentum in your business, you're in the right place. I'm Lori Lyons, and today we're moving into the final two stages of the client journey, refer and return. If you've been following the series so far, if you haven't, go back to episode 312 and start listening from the beginning. That sets the true framework, will set the foundation for the client journey. But if you've been following the series, you know that what we've already done. We've talked about discover, connect, engage, invite, convert, and experience. Each stage builds upon the other. Each stage builds trust. Each stage narrows your focus depending on what stage of business that you're in. And each stage assumes a higher level of commitment. Refer and return are where all of that finally compounds for you. And here's why these two stages can change everything for you. They're not bonus stages. They're payoff stages. This is where your business stops relying entirely on you and your energy and starts benefiting from your reputation that you've worked so hard to build. When clients refer you and come back to work with you again, a few important things will happen. It shortens your sales cycle. Your marketing will get simpler. Your revenue will become more predictable. And who doesn't want that? And most important, your business will stop feeling like you're constantly restarting. If you're in the work it out or rock it out stage of business, these two stages are what's going to separate growth from grinding it out week by week, month by month. So let's start by talking about referrals. Referrals aren't random. They're not luck. They're not based on your personality. I've given referrals to people I personally couldn't stand, but I really liked their work, if that makes sense. And it's not something that you need, like you just sit back and you hope you get. Referrals are a direct result of experience. When someone refers you, they're doing something very specific. They're putting their reputation next to yours. And it only happens when their experience was solid, their outcome was meaningful, their relationship felt respectful and professional. Referrals are not about asking harder or bugging people. They're about delivering in a way that people want to talk about. So why don't happy clients refer? And why do I give referrals to people that I don't necessarily care for, but I like their work? I like what they do. And here's something that might surprise a lot of you. Even very happy clients will not refer. And it's not because they don't, or not because they wouldn't. It's because they don't think about it. They move on, life gets busy, life happens, and that's not a failure. That's human behavior because we forget, which means that your referral process needs to be designed. You don't want to assume it, because designing referrals doesn't mean that you have an awkward script or you give incentives that feel forced. It means making it easy and natural so that they can share your name when what you do comes up. So let's design a referral stage with intention. A strong refer stage answers one simple question for your client. How would I talk about this experience to someone else? If you want client referrals, give clients the language. It's not marketing copy. It's real world language. So instead of saying, Lori does marketing, I want my clients to say, she helped me stop overcomplicating my business and finally get results. Much more powerful than she does marketing. And that only happens when your work solves a felt problem and you name it clearly. Referrals thrive on specificity. And this goes back a long time ago to your message. Are you clear in what you do and what you are saying and the problems that you solve? Because this is what you want your referrals to be based on, the problem that you solve. So clarity happens all throughout the process. It's not a one-time thing. So one of the biggest mindset shifts that I see around referrals, it's a community. It's a community thing. It's not currency. It's about relationships, not rewards. I'm not going to refer somebody just because I get a referral fee, which is a whole nother, probably a podcast episode at some point, talk about that. I refer people because I want to help you and I care about you. I want to look good as a connector. I want to be known as someone that you can come to and say, hey, who do I need for this? If you remember that episode, that Seinfeld episode of we all have a guy, well, a girl. Who do you call when you want to know something? I want to be the referral person in my neighborhood. I want to be the referral person in my business community. I want to be the referral person for my clients, because not only does that give me trust, but it helps with you as well. I refer my clients out all the time. And it shows that I trust you enough to recommend you. And your clients will feel the same way. They trust you enough to give a referral and to recommend you. And you can have referral programs. You can say thank you in a number of ways. But the real drive behind this is pride in what you're doing. People refer you when they feel good about the decision they made to work with you. They are proud of that they worked with you. I have a couple of business coaches that I'm very proud that I worked with them. Did I pay for it? Absolutely. And one of them I didn't particularly care for. But I learned a lot and my business developed and my business grew. So as I said earlier, I will refer that person out. But I will tell people up front that, this may not be a person that's for you because she's not a sweet, gentle soul. Let's just put it that way. But I had a great deal of pride in the fact that I worked with them and I've got results. And that's what counts. In all the times I've worked with a business coach, I felt good about the decision I made to work with them. And that's why that referral, you can't separate it from experience. Go back and listen to the previous episode if you need to about experience and why a good client experience is so important. If you give a good client experience, you will get referrals. So what's the difference between referrals and testimonials? And why do you need both? Because this is where a lot of you get confused. They aren't the same thing, and they serve different purposes in your client journey. A referral is a private trust. It's typically one-on-one, typically, while a testimonial is public. It's a public trust. Testimonials work when you're not in the room. Go back and listen to my social proof episodes. I think it's episode 304. Testimonials are how you can get clients without saying a word. And both of them matter. And when they work together, it's magic. It removes the friction from your growth. Because by the time someone is ready to refer you or talk about the experience publicly, you've already earned their trust. What do referrals do best? They move fast. When someone comes to you from a referral, they're probably already going to get a yes because you've come from a referral or a trusted source. They trust the person who sent them. They've borrowed credibility. They're borrowing credibility before they ever talk to you. That's why referral-based conversations feel easier. There's less explaining. There's less convincing. There's more alignment with who you are and what you do. Referrals will shorten the sales cycle. So what do testimonials do? Testimonials work earlier in the journey. You may not even realize people are looking at your testimonials. You may not even realize somebody is scoping you out before they call you or they contact you. They help future clients recognize themselves before they ever call you to talk to you. A well-crafted testimonial doesn't say how great you are. It reflects the before and after your client experiences. It reflects the uncertainty they felt, the symptoms they were dealing with, the shift that happened because of the work that the two of you did together. And that's why generic testimonials don't convert. I love working with her doesn't move anyone forward. I finally stopped overcomplicating my business and started seeing consistent results. Does move a client forward. Testimonials prepare people for referrals to work. So why do most testimonials fall flat? Here's the mistake that I see business owners making all the time. You ask for a testimonial like this. Can you write a few sentences about your experience? And what you get back is, I love working with her. That's generic. That doesn't sound right, but it's quick and it's easy for the person writing the testimonial. And that's not their fault. They don't know what future clients need to hear. A strong testimonial strategy guides the story. It pulls out the real struggle. It talks about the problem that they have, the hesitation. What was holding them back from saying yes? What was the transformation that they happened? And what was the result? And how did it affect the outcome of their business in this case, or their health, or their wealth, or whatever it is that you work with? And when you do that well, your testimonials do the heavy lifting before someone ever asks for a referral. And again, if you want more on testimonials and social proof, go back to episode 304. But here's where the magic can happen with this, because they can play off of each other. When a client has read a testimonial that reflects their situation, they've heard stories that feel familiar, they have seen proof that your work creates transformation through the testimonial, then the referrals will land stronger. The person being referred already feels like there's some orientation to what you do. They already trust the outcome because they trust the giver. Testimonials kind of warm things up, and referrals plant the seed. And together, they can create tremendous momentum without any pressure at all. I hear it all the time. I don't want to feel salesy. This is one way that you can feel salesy without having to sell at all. And you don't need dozens of testimonials, or you don't need a complicated referral program. You need intentional testimonial questions. You need stories that highlight the symptoms and transformation. And you need simple ways for clients to share what you do in your name. And you need consistent visibility of those stories. Shout them out. Talk to people. Thank the person giving you the referral on social media. Oh, that does a lot. Because when your social proof reflects the real passions that people get when they work with you, they stop feeling awkward and they start feeling natural, because your clients already know what to say. Now, let's talk about return. What is the return on all of this? It's where most of you are leaving money and momentum on the table, because it's not about reselling the same thing. It's about continuing the relationship. If someone has worked with you before and they've had a good experience, see previous episode, they're far more likely to work with you again than a stranger is to say yes for the first time. And yet, most of you treat engagements as one and done. The project ends, the contract closes, the relationship fades, not intentionally, but by default. And this was a huge lesson that I had to learn. For years, I've been coaching clients, and for years, I didn't tell people about it. It became strategy sessions after the call, or it was part of my maintenance plan. And that was on me because, hey, lesson learned. I thought I was being too salesy, or I thought I was being too pushy, or, that old imposter syndrome comes in as, am I good enough? Am I this? Am I that? The self-doubt crept in. And once I realized that I needed to start talking about coaching and not just doing it, I was the best kept secret around, boy. So now I talk about it. Now I bring it up. Now I seed my coaching when we're working together. And that was entirely my fault, and it was a conscious decision on my end. So I had to start talking about the next step because my clients didn't return, not because they didn't value what I did. They didn't return because they didn't know there was a next step. They assumed I only did one thing. And I disappeared after I delivered their websites. Of course, I'd put them on my email list, and of course would do the catching up every now and then, but it wasn't a deliberate conscious effort on my part to say, here is the next step. Here is the closure. And when I tell you I've learned a lot by sketching out and drawing out these client journey episodes and putting a framework around them, it really has helped solidify my business as well. Because I've been doing it. I just never had a clear expectation, but I also found the holes that I was missing. So every business owner, regardless of what stage you're in, you can learn from this process because return requires continuity, and it requires being visible with your clients, not visibility on social media. That will, that's a whole nother ballpark, but just being visible with them one-on-one. Not that you're constantly selling. There's no pressure. You're just showing that you're relevant and you're there. So what does it look like with the different stages of your business? For some clients, return can mean a deeper level of work. It can be an ongoing strategy or ongoing support, or it can be a totally new phase of implementation, a whole new way of working with them. And for others of your clients, it might mean that you have maintenance, you have periodic check-ins, you have a different offer. It goes to being part of a community or an ecosystem that you're creating. Could be a mastermind. Could be any number of different ways that you can make offers to continue working with your clients. But the key is this: there should always be a logical next step for someone who wants to keep working with you. Even if they don't take it right away, they may need a break. They may have life that comes up. You may have a new grandchild. You may be taking a big trip. Anything can happen, but as long as you know that that option is there and you tell your clients about it, then they know it's there. You have a next step. You have a real advantage by seeding your return without having to sell it. You don't need to push. You don't need to hype it, but you seed the return. And seeding means that it's almost a foreshadowing of what comes next. For example, when I'm working with clients, I may say in my mastermind, which is the next step for you would be a mastermind, which is blah, 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 blah. Or we will work on that on the next phase of working together. We're working on the figure it out stage. When we get to the work it out stage, then we will start doing this. I've only sold them the figure it out stage. I haven't yet sold them the work it out stage. So that's seeding the next step and say, okay, there's more after this. I'm not going to just let you go off on your own. So I'm not seeding it as an offer. I'm giving them an awareness. And if you start doing this well, your clients will start having the conversations themselves. They'll start asking you about it, and they'll come back when they're ready, not because you've chased them. And if they're getting good momentum, if they know that there's a next step, they're excited about the next step. They're excited about continuing to work together. So how does this work in a lifetime relationship? There's a lot of talk about lifetime value. I prefer to think of it in terms of a lifetime relationship. You can hear, you've heard business coaches talk about what is the lifetime value of a client? How long does a client stay with you? And the situation with my second business coach, where I stole the figure it out, work it out, rock it out, along with several other business coaches that do teach that. She said at the very beginning, this is a 3-year process. She seeds that immediately. She lets you know if you are in that figure it out stage, if you're a beginning business owner, plan on 3 years with her. She's not going to pull any punches. She's not going to surprise. Now, it might look different at the different stage that you're in, but I agree with that. I agree that unless you are a motivated individual, sometimes it can take a couple of years to go through the stages. It depends on how, what does this dream business look like for you? Are you only working it part-time? I have a couple of clients that have full-time jobs that they are starting businesses as their second, as their dream job for when they retire or when they leave the company or when they change careers, whatever it may be. They're working full-time, but they're doing this, setting this figure it out stage in their spare time on the weekends, at nights. So you just never know how long it's going to take them until they make the decision to make it a full-time work. So when they're ready, they'll come back for the next step or they'll refer somebody. And again, that's how we have sustainable growth in our business. So let's talk about some reflection questions. Let's talk about some questions that you can look through and say, do I have this in my journey? On the next episode, I'm going to give you a whole bunch of action steps to go through all this. We've just been doing some reflection questions on where you are and what you need. And we're going to put it all together in the next episode. Because reflection, the return is really the last part of your client journey. You want to make sure that they're coming back to you. All right, so here are the reflection questions. Ask yourself, do my best clients know what to do next? Do I make it easy for people to refer me? Do that I give them the words to say? As a side note, you can do that in your out, like when you're doing a client experience closure call for that stage of their working together. Tell them I'd love referrals, and this is what I'm looking for. Who am I looking for? Am I staying visible with those clients after I deliver what they've paid for? Do they know what the next step is? And does my business reward long-term relationships? And how does it reward those long-term relationships? Because your answers to these questions can tell you exactly how much momentum your business is capable of right now. Refer and return are where growth stops being effort-based and starts being reputation-based. This is where your business matures. This is where trust compounds. And this is where you stop feeling like you're constantly rebuilding. If you want help strengthening these stages or seeing how they fit into your full client journey, the next step for us is to book a Profitable Path Blueprint call. This is a call that is designed to see if we are a fit to work together and if I can help you where you are today. You can schedule a call with me at talkwithlori.com. Come ready to choose your direction, not just look at options. Come ready to move forward, not just stall. This is Lori Lyons, and remember, the business of your dreams is still possible. It starts when you're done starting over and done spinning your wheels. We'll see you next time. Thank you for joining me on the Midlife Business Academy. If today's episode made you think, or made you feel seen, Share it with a fellow business owner who could use it too. When you're ready for more support, you'll find the link to book your Profitable Path Blueprint call in the show notes. I'll be back next week with more insight and strategy to help you build a business that truly fits your life and one of your dreams. We'll see you next time on the Midlife Business Academy.